Okay, here we go. Hi, Lee. Thank you for asking me to do this reading for you today. And we're going to be searching for some more answers for you with the programming or the super soldier or secret space or whatever kind of comes up for you, and maybe some light language that might help open up some more information for you too. Um, is that what you're kind of looking for? Is some answers in a way?
Yes, yep.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
whatever comes through, I'm pretty excited to see what comes through because,
yeah.
like I was telling you before, I have no memories from like past life stuff or stuff from programs.
Okay.
I mean, I have like a couple of dreams here and there, but they're very vague, so it's sometimes not enough to like really go on. So, but it's really just that intuition, that deep inner knowing. It's like when you see something, like when I came across the SSP stuff and started looking more into it and hearing testimonies from other people, it's just one of those things that uh, deeply resonated with me, even if
Yeah,
I didn't remember anything. But I'm like, okay, I feel like I might have been involved
me
some
too.
way.
That's how I
Yeah.
was too. The same way with that. Watching like the some of the on Gaia, you know how they first had the like Randy Kramer and all of them too, him his
Yeah.
testimony. I really resonated with him on Mars. So I don't
Hmm.
know if you feel Mars connection. Do you feel?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A little bit. Yeah.
Mhm. I feel that
Yeah.
too. Like a super soldier on Mars.
Yeah. That's actually like one of my dreams that I have had is
Yeah.
where, but again, it's too vague, but all I can remember is that I am on what feels like Mars to
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
and uh, um, using some type of weaponry,
Yep.
very like high tech stuff, and um, like battling like insectoid beings and
Okay.
like others
That's what I'm
like that. So
seeing.
that definitely
Yep.
sounds like Mars to me.
Mhm. Yeah. In your super soldier uniform, like a
Yeah,
like a doom suit, kind of like
yeah,
that. You.
exactly like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
yeah. Because I had that dream, if I recall, I was probably about 9 or 10, I think, when I started having that dream, and
Oh,
so that would seem to align probably right when I would have been placed into the programs, would be my
okay.
guess. Yeah.
Do you have like when you were in school any kind of like recruitment or anything with those, the gifted, how they have the gifted and talented, how they have that stuff and
Oh, yeah.
um
But
you know
no.
yeah, I didn't either. I
Yeah.
didn't. I know I was even held back in the second grade.
I
So
I was held back too in
yeah.
kindergarten, but it's because so when I was 5, I got really sick, and it's funny because when I was 5, that's when things got really weird for me.
Yep.
Is I got really sick. I came down with this sickness called Kawasaki disease, and it affected my motor learning skills. And uh, and yeah, like I feel like that's really like when things started really getting weird for me and like trauma coming
Yeah.
through. And like even though I don't have memories of it, I can't help but intuitively feel that when I was 5, that I was abducted by malevolent ETs
Mhm.
and had some
Mhm.
type of MK Ultra programming or experiments done on me because, like I said, ever since I was 5, like the things just got really weird, and yeah, and I was like never able to process it because I was 5, like didn't have like any frame of reference of like where
Yeah.
this stuff is coming from, and
Mhm. And your
yeah,
mind probably wiped too, when you
yeah,
go and then come back and then your mind is wiped. So you
right,
you really don't have
yeah,
that recall either. I mean,
right. Well, and
with
then yeah,
mhm. And like when you're taken, then I just wonder if you was taken and then your mind is split, and then you're put into different
yeah,
clone bodies, um
yeah, maybe.
or, or even age regress too.
Yeah. Well, because another thing that happened, like, so I had like a lot of health problems as a
Mm-hmm.
kid and going into early teens. Um, when I was like 13 or 14, I went to a neurologist. I had a couple of MRIs done. They thought at the time that they thought I had MS and some other ailment, but I don't. But then through the MRIs and other stuff, they found lesions on my brain. But I'm still not sure. I don't know if they were ever able to figure out if that was from birth or if that's potentially like related to programs. Because like I actually have heard, at least on a couple of other accounts, of people saying that they've had lesions on their brain too, and it's usually a result of them wiping your memory too
Mm-hmm.
hard or something, from
Mm-hmm.
my understanding. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, so,
And
but also
implants, you know, how is the connection? Is the connection okay? Is the connection okay? I-
it should be now. Yeah,
Yeah. I feel
yeah.
like
I don't
that
have
was,
yeah. I don't have the best connection sometimes,
I
but
know, but I think it does that because we're talking about this too, you know?
yeah. I see that happen with so many people, so I'm not
Mm-hmm.
surprised. But
Yeah.
the thought that I was going to go into is that when I was born, uh, well, in my mom's final month of pregnancy, they found out that I stopped growing in the
Oh.
womb at 7 months. So I was tiny. I was 4 pounds 11 ounces. I was also breached.
Oh.
I'm the oldest of her four kids, and I'm the only one that was born through a cesarean
Yeah.
birth because I was breached, and I guess the umbilical cord was wrapping around my neck, so I was low on oxygen. So by the time they delivered me to my mom, I was blue, like a.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm like I'm not sure if the lesions like really do go back that far from birth or if it is from like childhood years and like just being having my memory wiped or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because I'm
yeah,
thinking that you're probably like a hybrid, hybrid child, where you would have genetic
yeah,
manipulation, so where she would have
yeah,
been in the program too. And can
yeah,
you hear me
maybe.
okay?
Mhm.
Can you hear me okay too?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
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 because usually like with the cesarean, then they can manipulate the time of birth too and take you and then put you in an
yeah,
incubator, anything like that, where they
yeah,
could
yeah. I was
could
in an incubator for a while, so yeah.
mm-hmm. And then whatever happened, because do you know if she was in the programs or anything like that?
I I'm not sure. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my family's like not usually like pretty open to this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, so I'm not really sure if it's
Mm-hmm.
just me or if there are others and they're just not aware to this material yet. It's hard to
Yeah.
say.
Mm-hmm.
But for the
Sometimes,
time, it seems like it's just me, I think.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Sometimes it is
yeah,
just with us, because the older generation, they don't question things any, just as it is
yeah,
like a whatever, they just dismiss it. So yeah, they don't want to look at
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Like I talk with my family about some of this stuff, but like I back off if I feel like they're not resonating with it. But I
mm-hmm.
try to test the waters here and there. Like my mom seems kind of open to it all, but I think a lot of times it's like they're just like, oh, just shrugs it off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
but
she listens at least, and then doesn't really make you
yeah.
feel like you are going crazy or and like gaslighting or
Oh,
nothing like
yeah,
that.
yeah, because I've
So
definitely had moments like that where I felt crazy. But
yeah,
a lot of that comes from myself, like my own
it
ego
is. Mm-hmm.
gaslighting me. And
Yeah, like with
but I've
the
always I've always struggled with that, like being a Gemini, like very airy, always up
yeah.
in my head, always second guessing
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you
always going
question.
against my intuition. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you mean. I have a Mercury in Gemini, so I know
So do I.
oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
our minds that always are just processing and thinking
yeah,
of everything and overthinking
yeah,
and
yeah.
analyzing and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
always thinking a lot faster than my own
Hmm.
mind can process. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And
yeah,
then we're just 7 days apart. So you're June 20th and I'm
yeah,
June 27th. So it's pretty
yeah,
close. I think it's, that's close, with the cusp and stuff too. So like it's kind of
yeah,
in the middle, huh? With the
yeah.
Cancer and
Yeah.
Gemini, it's kind of right in the middle there. So, well, I'm gonna get
All
started
right.
with this and then we'll just go through all of them. So, and you can just tell me,
Okay. Oh, the very first one, childhood
yeah,
trauma.
childhood trauma.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's gonna be that's gonna be what we were already talking about with your birth and everything, from the time of birth.
Yep.
So this is a true love. This is just the card. When I get this, it just
Oh,
means that you are true love, like you give true love when you're loving
okay.
someone, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Mm.
It's hard to just fake it with someone. You'd rather be single, than
Yeah.
with someone who is just a fake
Yeah.
love.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely cannot fake love.
You
You
have.
have Zeta gray DNA. Okay.
Hmm. So that's probably the
All right.
going into the programs and stuff, how they genetically
Yeah.
modify your DNA, so you can
Yeah.
go on the spacecraft also, but also so you can have your abilities. So it enhances your abilities with their DNA.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's some light language.
Okay.
These can go into like these are channeled from my higher self, so at different times
Yeah.
I'll have like automatic writing, so it's kind of like from higher
Yeah.
information for you.
Right.
Oh, taken by the gray
Taken by
aliens.
the gray aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
This is gonna be.
Yeah,
I.
see, I was like
Mhm.
never really sure because like I said, I had an intuitive feeling like when I started going down these rabbit holes, starting to put pieces together, I wasn't sure since I don't have any recollection of it. I was always like, okay, I don't know if it was grays or reptilians or maybe one time it was grays, other time reptilians, a little bit of both. Like I
Mhm.
don't know, but I just like once I started putting pieces together, I'm like, okay, with like what happened to me like when I was 5 and like moving forward, it's like nothing else really makes sense at that point.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can see you flying a craft, like on a
Oh,
Zeta
yeah.
ship. I can see that. So
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
more Zeta than reptilian, because a reptilian kind of has a heavier energy signature. It's more
Yeah.
kind of heavier, kind of you could feel it differently than the Zetas is fast. Fast
Right.
processing, fast thinking, and all this.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's what I feel. So I don't know where you live. Do you have live or nearby Indian land?
I'm not sure if where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm in Southwest Michigan, so
Oh,
it
okay.
could be close to some. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep. Oh, here's the 20 and back. Multiple
okay.
times.
Multiple
Multiple
times. Okay,
times.
that
Yeah.
makes sense because that's another thing I was like trying to speculate, like because I was like when I would feel into it, I'm like I don't think it was just 20 years. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
would feel like it was like at least like 40.
Yeah.
But then another thing is like, oh, was it 40 straight consecutive years or was it like 20 and then I was taken back and then like taken back into the programs a second time and like so if it was
Mm-hmm.
split or if it was like one, long
Yeah.
run.
Yeah,
So
because they can clone many, many versions of you, of your consciousness, and then put you into
yeah,
different programs, like how many ever. And then they just send you out and do the work for each of those groups, because it's like different groups by these uh by the children when they're that young, like, or you're just placed into them. I think they probably buy them, or something happens with that. We don't ever see the money part of it, but they put us all in these different programs and train us, and then uh through that time, and then send us out on different things. If it's the at first, if you're 5, and then you're trained with your psionic abilities, and you're trained like for assassin when you're young, and but your mind is split even in that
yeah,
clone. Your mind is going to be split. So you'll have altars, so they can train those altars to do different things too, like the assassin, or using your psionic abilities with other things, with telepathy or remote viewing. So I think you have all of that with telepathy and
Okay.
remote viewing. And
Mm,
yeah, because I can see you sitting at a table there too, in like a base, and you're at one of those investigator kind of tables, and they're having you trained to be a remote viewer, and you look like you're around 6 or 7 years old in that in
okay.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like
Interesting.
military though. It's military training, so that one. And it's like a dark room. And I see you look young because in the chair you're sitting in a table, and the chair you're not touching the ground. I see your feet swinging, so you look like you're
Mhm.
around 6 or 7. That's how I can kind of tell. And your arms are just like all on the table like this, and you're like barely up on the table, but then they're
Oh,
having you look at different targets for the remote viewing.
oh,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also they're training to do like opening up the portals and stuff. And then, so you're doing all that psionic work,
Okay.
psionic training. Yeah. So that might explain some of the things that you're seeing, with the neurology stuff, because
Yeah.
they would they would they would do different things to enhance your abilities, so
Mm,
yeah, they would or even have implants in there too. But also programming the altars, so then the altar could do different things as well. Yeah.
mm, okay.
Oh, so mediumship.
Yeah, shit. Okay.
How do
Nice.
you feel about that? With the Because I feel that I just saw you like going into a
Yeah.
haunted house, and then you're not even
Yeah.
afraid. You're not
Yeah.
really afraid of. It takes a lot to scare you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
the past couple years, especially like since I really started my spiritual awakening a couple years ago, but like I was wakening up to, you know, government and politics stuff, before
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah.
2022 is when I consider my spiritual awakening to really have taken off. So like the past couple years, I've been doing like a lot of transmuting and healing. So like I've really gotten to a point that like yeah, I've transcended a lot of fear. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't scare easily.
Yep. Yep. And see, it's
Telepathic abilities.
telepathic abilities.
Yeah.
Yep. That's confirming it.
Okay.
Oh, look, the German fleet, and it's
Oh,
blinking. It's
oh
blinking
wow.
too, so that's a
Wow.
confirmation. That's what I was seeing to begin with before we opened up the reading. I was just
Yeah.
tuning into you, and asking for our higher selves to have
Yeah.
clear communication. And I was seeing you
Mhm,
with like the German fleet, and with
mhm.
Like Maria Orsic, like with the Brill Society. I was
Yep.
seeing you with them, maybe one of your girlfriends or something like that. Like I feel a really close connection with you and one of those Brill women, because they have really long hair. And then so they were mediums, they were psychics. And
Oh, nice.
I can see you as a German soldier, and that's one of your girlfriends, one of them. One, I don't know if
Oh,
it's Marie Orsic, but
okay.
one of those women. And so you um and it's not like an open relationship. It's kind of like you have to be in a way secretive almost, because
Mm,
it's not like everybody can be so in love, it's like you have to kind of hide in maybe like a house or something. Like you can't go out and meet in public with everybody, because then they'll because they're like a group, the real society, those women, so they can't have any distractions with anything, so. And I see you
yeah.
as a young soldier, and then then it's the one of the women is young too, so I can see that. And
Okay.
y'all were both in love. I can feel that too. I can see how that is. Yeah. Oh, here's this is good. Don't tell me
Don't
no.
tell me no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. kind of a rebellious sound. Like just because
Yeah,
you just want to find out for yourself. And if somebody says, no, don't do that, then you just want to know why, you have to know
yeah,
why not to do it. And
yeah.
so,
Well, and that Gemini nature, like, have a very curious nature. So if
hmm
I want to look into something, nothing's gonna convince me otherwise.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I can be pretty stubborn.
hmm
So
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
like yeah,
yep. There's some praying mantis. I think this is more the
okay,
friendly. They're more
yeah,
friendly, like you would have as a star family. So, like this
yeah,
is on the other side, the more positive star
yeah.
family. That you would have praying mantis and all kinds of guides. There's some light language.
Okay.
I think a lot of it's going to have the Reiki infused too, because I'm Karuna Reiki master. So when I'm writing it, then it's going to, those symbols are, a lot of them are kind of coming into the artwork as well,
Hmm.
with the loops and spirals. The spirals are pretty
Yeah,
healing,
yeah,
but some of it feels like technology too.
yeah.
Oh, ninja assassin. So this would
Okay.
be like
Hmm.
one of the altars for the programs, a ninja assassin. I can see that for sure with the super soldier.
Yeah.
Probably
Maybe
many.
that's why I've always liked ninjas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is. There's another
20
20
back.
and back.
Okay. Yeah. More confirmation.
Yeah. So with the ninja stuff, anything that you've resonated with since you were little, then that's
Yeah.
gonna be something too,
Right.
with that for
Yeah.
sure.
That's definitely something I've learned over the years.
There's a feels more like a tall gray
Yeah.
and feels like on a ship. I don't know. I saw you flying a ship with her. Feels like a female here, and it
Okay.
looks like she's watching behind you, and you're
Hmm.
flying a ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you resonate with flying
I
like
think
the
so.
big
Yeah.
ships? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the bear medicine. The bear is real protective. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. The grizzly bear. Oh, here's some
Mm. Yeah.
that's really fast channeling.
Mm.
There's a praying mantis too. When I was doing that, I was going really fast on a whole bunch of different cards. So, I was drawing the praying mantis first, and then I just had more of it just coming out really fast. So it's just their energy signature. Oh, the buffalo.
Buffalo
Yeah,
medicine.
that's you
Okay.
could use these animals to assist you as well. Any animal you want to, just ask them. Oh, that I thought of a space colony here.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that kind of look like that? A space colony?
Yeah. Yeah. A
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Yeah. Do you remember ever being taken to a martial arts training center? And then
Mm,
the someone would be there. It looks like a dojo kind of big well, you walk in and then it's like a front desk, and then there's the dojos all along. So it's kind of like a mall looking place. And then each one has a shop, the rooms and stuff like just like the mall, the shops, but they're martial arts training places. And then so many soldiers go there to train. And
hmm,
they just are sent out like when training is like what I've seen is it's like a simulation or something like that too, because we're taken and then we have to just keep repeating like a obstacle course or something until we perfect it. So it's kind of like games and
uh,
stuff too. And then we have to battle
right.
each other too, so
Hmm.
kind of
Yeah. I don't have any memory of that, but
yeah.
I have been interested in martial arts since I was very little, so
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
why.
Yeah. That is
So,
espionage.
okay.
Yep. Using your telepathy and abilities, to gather information.
Other information. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Higher
Fire.
creation being.
Atlantean knowledge.
I
Do you resonate with Atlantis?
do.
Yeah. I can see you as an ocean being, something aquatic as well.
Yeah. I
Like,
really love the water. So,
mm-hmm, yeah.
yeah.
I see you, some of your star seed, is from Sirius. I can see like Sirius A and B, so you would
Yeah.
have some of the dolphin DNA possibly, so you can swim really fast through or even like a serpent, how they swim like a dragon or something. So I see a
Yeah.
dragon and serpent, dolphin, all kinds of water beings, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That resonates. Hawk
Hawk.
people. See overall view. Omens, messages, signals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hawk is kind of like a air sign, I
Fine,
think.
I think. Yeah.
Information. How's my sound? Is it okay?
Yep.
Is there any feedback or anything?
Nope. Not on my
Okay.
end, no.
Okay. Oh gosh, you got true love again. That's
Okay.
really nice. Maybe some place that you've seen that, because it feels like it's one of the martial arts places or something. It seems like that writing. Oh,
Yeah.
concentration. Yeah. I can see you being really good at focusing when you're wanting to focus on stuff, like if it's something you're working on,
Hmm.
that if you're drawing, or if you're doing things to with your mind, like something um really deep thinking, then you can really concentrate on that and direct contact with extraterrestrials.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be in the programs, but also your star family too. So it's with
Yeah.
your higher self, and then all the beings that are with you, on this
Yeah.
journey too. That you've been all these beings before, and like the praying mantis, the Syrian, the Octurian, and many different kinds of dolphin-like, hybrids, lots of hybrid beings, different
Hmm.
ones, mixtures, lots of animals too. I see like a horse, and I see all kinds of animals with you too, like the horse and dog. I see those. So it's maybe maybe you can call on any animal to ask for assistance, with
Right.
asking them for help with things. Ancient Egyptian technology.
Okay.
So I don't know with this. I kind of think this matches with the hawk, like Hortus, because that was just right before it, not too many cards before, with the hawk. So
Hmm.
Egyptian technology, and then I thought of Hortus, how he holds a staff, and I think that staff has something where it would open up stargates or something like that too, something like that. Oh, look again, the German roots. Do you have German DNA in
I believe
ancestry?
so.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah. That's like a portal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't know if it's your dad in this time, but it's like your father was there with you in that German time where you lived in Germany and then you was a German soldier, and then your dad was also higher ranking, and then you were born into it. So then you met the lady from like the real place or something, and so it was kind of where you had to keep quiet because your dad would tell you not to go into certain places or however, because we
Yeah,
were like we're not supposed to go over there or interfere with them or something, so it's kind of meeting in secret with her. Lots of light language for you.
yeah.
Oh, never give up.
Sit in the sun.
When it's warm outside.
Yeah.
Is it really cold there?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit sunny today, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Star. Authors created. That's confirmation for you. I think that has to do with the things that you were saying with finding anything on your brain or the neuro
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Just be present.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself
Working
that
on
too.
that. Yeah.
It's it's
Yeah.
easy to drift off into other places.
Oh, yeah.
Redheaded girl. Those remind me of spaceships almost, where they're just
Yeah.
kind of hovering in the space
Yeah.
like centers. What about this one? A twin flame. How
Twin
do you
flame
feel
is
about
in
that?
your life. Uh, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So she is, so this is like, so my twin flame and I have a very interesting dynamic going on because she's not yet aware of me in the
Mm-hmm.
3D.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she is actually what catalyzed my awakening, my spiritual
Oh,
awakening back in 2022. And
yeah.
like, so yeah, so that's interesting that I got that card. But yeah, like I said, she's not aware of me, but I became
Mm-hmm.
aware of her because I mean, well, because she has a YouTube channel and all that too. Like
Yeah.
that's how I became aware of her.
Yeah.
Um,
So you've
and
seen her energy or
yeah,
frequency woke
like
you
the
up?
first, huh?
Like that her energy woke you up? Or
Yeah, like I
wow.
remember like it was a couple years ago on Thanksgiving actually, and at the time I was in a weird place because I was at a crossroads between religion and spirituality. I was going down different rabbit holes. I wasn't sure what I believed with or resonated with anymore. And something else that I had, like for a lot of my life, is I had an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So I was dealing with that for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And so I think I picked up a lot of guilt and shame, like from that. And then there was a little bit of time where I was like seeping into religion a bit, but it wasn't thrusted on me. Like I didn't grow up in a religious family,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just my guilt and shame got the best of me, and I was like gaslighting myself and saying like, oh, like I'm a bad person, like
Yeah.
always being down on myself, not thinking that I was worthy of
Mm-hmm.
love or anything. And then, so yeah, so I was in a dark place for a long time, and then I was talking with a Facebook friend and we were talking about star seeds and religion and spirituality, like Jesus and all that. And then she just happened that day to send me a link to my Twin Flames channel.
Mm,
And like the moment I opened the video, I had an like instant soul recognition with her, like, but
wow.
I couldn't like really explain it. I feel like deep down, like I knew who she was, but at the time, since I was still really stuck in my ego was like really like adamantly fighting me on it
Hmm.
for months. But like I knew like deep down, it's like, okay, like yeah, she's my person.
Hmm.
But yeah, so like where I am on my journey right now is a result of her. So it's
Yeah.
just interesting the
Wow.
dynamic that we have that she's helped me this whole time, like at least like on an energetic level, but in the physical realm, like she's not even consciously aware of it. But to me,
Yeah.
that's just a testament of like how powerful a divine, twin flame connection is.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but
And
uh,
how do you think she would feel if you told her? Do you not want to ruin
uh,
that thing, that dynamic, like you're
yeah,
thinking?
I've thought about that
Hmm.
before, but like, so like I'm going through Kundalini right
Uh-huh.
now. Like
Hmm.
it's actually at my crown chakra. And what's interesting is that my Kundalini actually awakened on her birthday last year.
Oh, wow.
And well, and the only reason I know her birthday is because of like it being like shared, like, on someone else's like video and all
Hmm.
that. So,
Hmm.
all of my awareness of her is all, you know,
It matches up.
physically through
Hmm.
through social media. But
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, man, like if it weren't
That's good.
for having like a YouTube video, it's like where would I be? Like
Hmm.
I'd probably be still stuck in old paradigms and all that. So it's just interesting to think about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
So
we would never even know too, because what if you were someone else? Like, is there just one twin flame? Because I think we probably might have
yeah.
more than one. Don't you
Yeah.
think there's different stages too? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like I know like like there's like high level soulmates and karmics and catalysts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like in the beginning, like when I found her, like deep down, like my heart and soul knew the
Yeah.
truth, but my ego didn't like want nothing with it. Like I was trying to run from it,
Mm-hmm.
but then I kept feeling magnetized to her. So like the first time I saw her, I'm like, it's like, wow, like I feel like I know you. And so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like now,
Yeah.
like here I
Wow.
am.
That's
And
that's a really great
I,
experience, like a
well,
explanation, because
yeah,
people don't really know how to explain it either, really,
yeah.
because it's
Well, yeah.
yeah.
'Cause it's otherworldly, it's something like it transcends the physical and all that in 3D, so it's like it's kinda hard to convey in human words sometimes, but another interesting thing, like, with me getting that card is that I've actually had some pretty intense dreams with
Mm-hmm.
my twin, like,
Okay.
even though, like, she's still not aware of me,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I feel like some of those dreams were just the universe's way of, like, metaphorically, like, confirming to me, like, "Oh, yeah, you are a divine pair."
Yeah.
And it's interesting 'cause, I'm gonna share this one dream that I had last early October of last year,
Mm-hmm.
and, it's funny because it's actually related to super soldiers. And so, um, in the dream, her and I are in, like, this underground reptilian base is what I believe it was, and, we're in, like, this big glass circular room, and, I don't know how we got there, that's just how the dream starts, like, boom, I'm just like, "Okay, like, how did we get here?" And then these super soldiers enter the room, there's, like, a handful of them, and, like, due to super soldiers, since they're under mind control, like, they're not in control of, like, their actions, just
Mm-hmm.
like how Bucky, the Winter Soldier, all the missions he went on, like, he wasn't even in control, and, I didn't know, like, what their intentions were, but I knew, like, it wasn't nothing positive, and,
Right.
I did my best to try to reason with them, because like I've always been that type of person. Like I don't like to hurt people,
Mm-hmm.
but like so I was like trying to go that route first before just like jumping in. Um, but I remember saying to them like I don't know what your intentions are, um, but let it be known if you walk away and like let us go, I will show you mercy. But if you do not, I will destroy anyone or anything that attempts to harm her.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't heed my warning, so a battle ensues, and I'm fighting these super soldiers, and it's not just five. Like you've seen the Matrix movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, remember when Neo was fighting all the Smith clones in that
Mm-hmm.
park,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's fighting like so many at a time, and he takes out a few, and then more come through.
Yeah.
That's what that was like. I think
Yeah.
in total it was
I
like
can see
a
that.
hundred, a hundred
Mm-hmm.
super soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm in control of the fight for the most part. Like they do get some hits in, and at one point, just like how the Smiths dogpile Neo, they do that to me. At one point, there's like 20 of them. They just dogpile on me. But then in the uh, through like a little space in the dog pile, I can see my twin and I can see a few soldiers approaching her and like they grab her. Like they don't hurt her, but they put their arms on her and
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to take her out of there. And then like she yells out for me, and then like that just like activates me more.
Yep.
That
Mm-hmm.
sets me off, and then I don't know how I did it, but like I got out from underneath them, and then I just go on like a rampage,
Mm-hmm.
like the Hulk,
Yep.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I can
then,
see that.
yeah, that's basically the gist of the dream is that I took on 100 super soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that dream specifically was to the universe's way of confirming, that we're a divine pair, that I'm her
Yeah.
divine protector. But I feel like in that dream, that was like me kind of like being embodied in my divinity or my divine masculine, or if
Mm-hmm.
not fully, like I was pretty close to it. Because like
Yeah.
another interesting thing with that dream is that I was taller and I was more muscular.
Yeah.
Like I think I was like a whole foot taller, and I had a lot more muscle mass. But even with how much taller and bigger I was, like some of the super soldiers were still bigger than me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it didn't
But
matter.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I had that dream like 2.5 weeks before my Kundalini awakened, so I feel like
Oh.
that was like the universe trying to prepare me. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you
yeah,
would recognize that when it come, when you seen her again, when the Kundalini awakening, and then you remember that from because that was pretty powerful. The dream was,
yeah,
and
it was
you
very
could remember
intense.
her. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like a strong emotional pull to her to protect her, and just a
Yeah,
love connection that you can explain in words is so deep, and then
yeah,
someone trying to take her away, and then you that just empowers you to fight for her, and so
yeah,
she doesn't get hurt. So that
yeah.
and then you seen her, and then were you like, who is this person? Did you already know who it was then at that time, or had you seen her YouTube or anything by that time?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this dream, like, happened after I was, like, already aware of her. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I had ever, like, dreamed of her, like, before, like, finding her on YouTube or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Or not that I recall
Mm-hmm.
anyway. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't remember a lot of my dreams these days, so for me to, like, remember that,
Yeah.
like, the universe wanted me to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, there is, like, one other intense dream that I wanna share, like, regarding her, because this one takes place in like the same area, but this time instead of super soldiers, it's like five reptilians.
Oh.
But instead of, but this time, like her and I are like both uh, chained up to like beams, and like like very like high tech futuristic, shackles
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And what I derive from that dream is that they were basically going to do stuff to her, like they wanted something from her, whether for like their programs, their experiments, or whatever. And also, I think they wanted to torture me by
Yeah.
torturing her, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're chained up. It's like there's nothing you can do, and and in the dream we're telepathically linked with the reptilians, like
Yep.
they're speaking in our minds, and like once again, similar like with the super soldier dream, I'm telling them like, don't do this, like whatever you intend to do to her, just do it to me instead, like me like really stepping up and being like very really protective of her.
Mm-hmm.
And um and I guess they were like almost considering it, but like they didn't. And then like they were basically like laughing at me and like because they don't understand like a love connection,
Mm-hmm.
because they're so
Mm-hmm.
disconnected from themselves, like
Yeah.
like they despise love, they're afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And but basically like they were assuming that I was protecting her because like she's weak
Oh.
or something. And like then I end up laughing at them. I'm like, no, like I'm not. I don't protect her because she's weak. It's like I protect her because she's important and because I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And then uh, anyway, they decide that they want to go through with doing whatever they were going to do to her. And then just like in the super soldier dream, that's just when I snap. And the only word that I verbally say to them is I yell no. And then I start pulling on the chains, and then I end up breaking them.
Mm.
And
Wow.
then the reptilian closest to me, uh, I'm just like so angry. I end up just reaching out and strangling it
Mm-hmm. I
with
see
one
that.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then like all the rest scatter out. And then the rest of the dream is just me breaking her free of her chains. And then
Mm-hmm.
we embrace. And then it ends by me just like sweeping her up and carrying her out of there.
Yep.
And
I can see that.
and
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting with that dream is like, since I told you I'm going through Kundalini awakening, I had that dream earlier in the year, the night that my Kundalini activated my throat chakra.
Oh,
And I
okay.
took
And you
that as
said
another
no.
sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I took that as like another metaphor or symbolic from the universe, because I've always struggled like with speaking my truth.
Yeah.
Well, because like growing up, I was always like shy, but then like
Mm-hmm.
with all the stuff that I've experienced, it's like it's also you can't really speak your truth when you don't even know who you are.
Right.
And that's what I struggled with for most of my life, not being able to speak my truth because I wasn't even sure of who or what I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
those two dreams, like very intense, but I find like very like symbolic, like the
Yeah.
universe like wanted me to remember those for a reason. Because like I said, I hardly remember like dreams like ever these days.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
And
like
you said that it's at your crown chakra. Is that where you said the Kundalini
yeah,
is
it's
at
been at
now?
my crown chakra for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
but I think like with all, like with the addiction and stuff, I can only imagine like what that would have done to my brain and like the dopamine receptors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So like and then like everything else, like, and I've always been like my own worst enemy. So I've always like cut myself down, not really believing in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's just been a lot of blockages up in my crown because, like
Yeah.
I said, I don't have like any recollection of like having contact with star beings, like in the programs, or
Mm-hmm.
my star family visiting me, like in the physical or even in the astral.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it happened. I just have like no conscious memory of it
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, maybe you'll get another dream then, and then you'll see more contact with that,
yeah.
maybe
And
something like that.
I keep
Oh,
thinking like when the Kundalini does activate, that'll probably help me understand like the downloads that I
mm-hmm.
receive. Because like as it stands, I do receive like downloads. It's usually like through like ear ringing and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, but I don't like understand any of it for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know,
And
but I know
too,
it'll happen when it's meant to.
right.
So
Because if it
yeah,
did it too fast, then some people go into psychosis. you know? So
Yeah.
if the Kundalini wakes up too fast or, a lot of people go
Yeah.
into psychosis. So it's happening
Yeah.
when it's supposed
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely
it's
don't want to
good.
rush it.
Yeah. That's good. So, your land is sacred.
Okay.
Land is
Yeah.
sacred. Yeah. I see you going outside and walking out in nature and stuff, and that helps kind of ground out some of the excess thoughts and stuff, you know? So,
Yeah.
or sitting under a tree.
Mhm. Implanted by alien technology. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's another thing I was contemplating on, like, if and how many implants I have and, like, how many I have that are from malevolent beings and how many are benevolent from, like, my star family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but
Because some of them are in other, like your astral body too, like astral implants. So it's hard to determine how many we would have. I know you probably have some like at the base of your skull, where they access any kind of brain function. But sometimes
yeah.
you have some on your eye, implant, so you can see in the dark. And
Mhm.
then other things too. So it's the neurological, so you're able to be enhanced that way, but maybe some in your arm too for tracking. Because I know I have one in my elbow right here for tracking, and I'll feel it. I'll feel some pain going off too, and I know that that's something different. And then one in my shoulder too, I feel. So, um, this my right hand's my more powerful hand. So if I was gonna punch, I would punch with that. So I think maybe something with this arm in my shoulder. Um, and then I know I have some in my ovary area too for being the hyper program,
Oh,
so something like that. And I've tried to disable those, but I think they just put them back. So I don't know how to
mhm.
disable them and keep them out for good. Because they can just put them back, and so I
Right.
don't know. I don't know how
Hmm.
to disable them because I've asked my higher self to disable any nefarious implants. And then if that happens, but then if it comes back, I'm not ever really aware either too of all of the implants. I'll just feel it. And then I've asked like Ivan Teller, I've asked him
Mhm.
how many implants I would have, or if I have one on my elbow, because I'll feel something and then I just question that. And then he confirms it usually that way. So, the
Yeah.
ringing in your ears might be just maybe, maybe tuning, maybe tuning into frequencies, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. Um,
Mhm.
so it could be that. Um, yeah, that's what I think with the ear ringing, because it happens sometimes to me too, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? I just wonder too, and I think it's just tuning into something because no
Yeah.
message is given. It's just something happens. So
Mhm.
that the Alpha
Oh,
Squad, yeah, that's with the super soldiers, and with the Alpha Squad, it's kind of like in that Doom suit, how the Doom as Doom Slayer, how he's really powerful with knocking down walls, and so all these
yeah.
super soldiers are kind of like the Doom guy, in their Doom suit, and they just have gone through so much trauma and battles, they're not even afraid of anything. And I also feel like the Alpha Squad has their more angelic DNA too. So I
Mhm.
feel that might be something with you as well, angelic DNA. So it's like archangels or so, so I feel like that too. That's why most of the kids are targeted too, is for their DNA, because of
Yeah.
their abilities. Yeah. And you're very courageous, and with your twin, and so that's also something different as well, how
Yeah.
courageous you are. So look at, here's another 20 and back.
Jeez.
Yeah, so you've had quite a few of them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Some information. Wow, I didn't
You're
know I
welcome.
had this many of these in the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3 times and the twin flames. So I feel
Yeah,
that that's pretty important.
yeah.
Okay, so there's these. Now I got to do the other ones are kind of darker. The ones these ones I made they're just more of the programs and stuff, so it's kind of darker.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll get some more answers. So here's the My Lab. Let me turn this off and let's see if it will make a difference. Can you see it better if it's off?
Yeah. Yep.
My Lab.
Okay.
The military abduction,
Yep. Hmm.
especially when you were young,
Yeah.
most definitely. I can even hear the helicopters going off, and the lights
Mhm.
outside. You maybe thought it was the Grays or so, but it might have been the military.
Okay.
So this is the Mothers of Darkness circus.
Huh.
This is a ceremony at the end of that Mothers of Darkness. I don't know
Okay.
if you have recall of being anything with the Mothers of Darkness, but it's like
No. Hmm.
ritual stuff.
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah. Hmm. This says locked up as a
As a
slave.
slave. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
This is the burlesque show. Those
Okay.
are like that's like a space colony, and then that's the burlesque show going on with the soldiers come to watch
Hmm.
the different performers.
Yeah.
So I think that might be German related with that.
Okay.
Um, sex
Sex
slave.
slave traumatized. Okay.
Hmm. I'm
Hmm.
getting a feeling that I'm getting the feeling that you was a soldier here, and then um you had met one of a girl who was in the burlesque or uh the brothels, and so
Yeah.
you tried to protect her in those places where
Yeah.
you met her, and then you keep going back when you was in that 20 and back, like you developed the have you heard Tony Rodriguez's story?
Yeah.
Kind
Hmm.
of something
Yeah.
like he met a woman there.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like it's like you've had that too, where you met a girl at the one of those places at a brothel. Um, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's on Mars or something. And then you try to go there as often as you can, and see her, and you see her being abused and stuff, and you can't. And I think you've probably been beat up a few times because you tried to protect her, or
Yeah.
kicked out. So it seems like it might be the twin flame. Do you?
Oh.
It might be.
I don't. If I recall from like what she shared, she wasn't in the programs.
Oh,
Like there
okay.
were attempts to take her,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't think she was ever actually in them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's most likely just
Maybe it.
someone else that
Yeah.
I grew close to
Yeah.
in
One of the
the
another true
programs,
love.
and
Another true
yeah,
love, huh? One of the other true loves. So
yeah,
the owl man. So
probably,
this is kind of
yeah.
like a ritual too, where you would see an owl man. So I don't know if you've seen those in different places where that maybe when you were little, like in these programs.
Sent to
Yeah.
a target for espionage.
Hmm.
Okay,
This is like assassin work where you
yeah,
would be, yeah. This is like where they would be in there asleep, and then you would be like a agent, going in there secretly and attacking them, something like that, or gathering information by being maybe one of the like the friend or something
yeah,
like that, and then so you're you're having to play their friend and gather information, and it's mostly like telepathically or your through your abilities that you're gathering that information from them.
Yeah. Sex slave victim.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you've had like also I don't feel like you've had a female alter. I don't feel like you've been a female. I don't feel that from you. But I just feel like you know like you were trying to protect any place that you go, you protect the women, like certain ones that you
yeah.
yeah, I can see
Mm.
that. This is that interrogation room.
Detestabilities.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's that interrogation room that I was talking about, where
Yeah.
you're sitting in the chair and then they're
Hmm.
they're questioning you. And this is throughout all the time too, when you are being questioned, to try to um get in and read your mind, but the program is in another altar, so you don't have memory of what they're even
Right.
talking about, because they're saying, why did you go to this hotel room, but you were in a assassin altar when you were going to do that, so you don't even know what they're talking about, so they can tie you up and beat you, and you don't even know, you won't answer, you won't give them what they're wanting.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. The hacker. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a yeah. So this is cool too, where you could be in the underground bases or something like that too, and
Yeah.
then like communicating with a team or to gather information or get in places for the team,
Hmm.
and communicating with the team members, so I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see you like with a whole bunch of computers and you're really fast and you're looking at all these screens and telling them where to go and stuff. And this is the grid work, doing
Yeah.
the grid work to for healing the earth grid, for raising the vibration,
Yeah.
maybe in your higher other aspects, doing that
Yeah.
work, so the bridging the lower realms and to the higher realms,
Hmm.
probably one of your other aspects is busy doing that too. I don't know if you ever see anything like that with thinking of grid work. When you hear grid work, does that ring a bell for you or anything?
A little bit.
Grid work,
Yeah. Yeah.
grid work. Sometimes, huh? A
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, with seeing a few of those women, 'cause I can see you as a soldier every time, uh, and you going back to the girl, but then you get in trouble too, and so they use that against you as well when
Yeah.
you show that you're trying to protect her, then
Yeah.
because she's in another program, so,
Yeah.
and you're just like, come with me and we can get out of here, but there's neither one of you can get out of there because you're in a program.
Yeah.
But you give them hope, that they, and you wake them up to those, I can see you having friends, and you give them hope that there's a way out and that you can get out of there, and that you'll help them get out, that you'll get out together, and a lot of times you do get
Yeah.
out. Yeah. And you hold on to them until they come out with you. You don't leave them behind. If they fall behind, like you'll carry them out.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like a noble person to do that, to not leave them.
Yeah. Well, even in this reality, like I've always been pretty
Well,
altruistic. Yeah. So
I'll see what else comes up in these. I have three more different sets here for
Okay.
more information. Yeah, that's pretty strong. That bond with the girl, with seeing her there and then trying to help her get out, and then she's like, I can't leave, I can't get out of here and you're like, yes you can, just come with me, I'll get you out of here. And she tries, and so sometimes you're caught, and then I think you try numerous times to help her get out of there. And I think I can see her going with you and getting out of there. I don't see where you end up going. Maybe just hiding out. Maybe she hides out.
Maybe.
Like run away, like you're both on the run.
Hmm.
Does that resonate too with being on the
A little
run?
bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Being on the run, having to hide out in places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But you still have your implants, and so um it's like if you like the Jason Bourne, if he answers the phone or if he hears something, then they can trigger the implants back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that happens too. So I think you probably would throw away all ways of communication so that doesn't happen, or trying to remove any implants that you know are in. Because you're like that. You know how Jason Bourne, how he's really, really strong
Yeah.
like that?
Hmm.
Yeah. I should make that one of the cards. Karuna Reiki Master. That's what
Okay.
that's probably what we're
Yeah.
receiving right now is because I'm a Karuna Reiki Master, so we'll be
Yeah.
getting that energy for healing.
Hmm. You are a healer. Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. New love. Oh, that's like new love for yourself.
I
I feel that.
yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wisdom keeper.
Wisdom keepers.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any Labradorite?
I do not. I should get some.
Yeah, that might help with the abilities. I think it helps with psychic abilities.
Okay.
Shaman.
Shaman. Okay. Yep.
I see you mostly talking to the birds, a lot of hawks and owls.
Okay.
Oh, do you have interest in Skinwalker? Because
A little
this might be like where you could become like a shapeshifter too, in these other
bit. Yeah.
altars. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Karuna Reiki symbol.
Okay.
Decomio, Decomio, good for
Okay.
healing. Yeah, you're a star seed.
Yeah.
The goat man.
Okay.
So these are just different interests or things. Interdimensional beings. I feel like with I think the tall grays. I can see you being part of that. the tall grays, and then flying that ship. I just seen that again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a beacon
Beacon
of
of light.
light. Hmm.
Hmm.
I think that's your angelic DNA there. Hmm.
Sensitive to energies, chemicals, noise, electricity. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, things would bother you, huh? If you're
Yeah.
hearing stuff. Hmm.
Ancient wisdom.
Yeah, there's another wisdom, huh?
Hmm. Indian
Indian
mounds.
mounds. I don't know if there's any near you or you feel drawn to
There
them.
could there could be.
Hmm.
I'd have to look into it.
This is,
Readings, healings, singing, spiritual teacher, vibrational tones.
yeah, might look into doing any of those.
Yeah.
Doing, if you do the, maybe listening to the vibrational, the hertz, something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
If you listen to anything like that, or tones. Oh, the werewolf DNA.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
gonna,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
resonate with that. With the werewolf
Uh,
DNA, it's gonna give you some
a little
healing
bit.
abilities. Hmm.
Yeah.
Probably the shapeshifter. This is gonna be
Yeah.
more higher dimensional, where you're able to shapeshift into a werewolf and,
Mm.
you know, and probably they probably would take your that DNA too, because it's like a gene, that they use for you can heal yourself faster, um,
Yeah.
and all of that,
Right.
and extra strong too, extra strength. So that's a military base in California, the
Okay.
29 Palms, and
Okay. Hmm.
yeah, you might maybe one of the places that you've been to, because I think it's connected there to the California, the ocean right there. Seems
Hmm.
like it's right there in the desert though.
Yeah.
You love
You love
challenges.
challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
like mentally, huh?
Yeah.
Mental challenges. Medicine keeper.
Of the blue violet ray. Oh, okay. You carry the energy of a transmuter. Yeah.
Transmuter. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's cool.
For sure.
I don't know. Some of them, some of them might come later, but they might just be, oh,
My
my
lab
lab.
again.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah. Hmm.
my lab.
Electromagnetic mind control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, from growing up and stuff. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Um, there's some more codes here. But that electromagnetic, that might be also part of targeting too, do you think? With something?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
There's the werewolf again, the bipedal werewolf.
Interesting.
Hmm. Yeah. Shape shifting into that to where you would be able to shape shift into the werewolf and then run really fast. So they might have taken that and used one of those aspects to create like a clone version of you with that gene, and then you would have those abilities as the werewolf and used in the
Oh,
military for running faster for combat because they're really strong too.
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Creative and independent.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's like some praying mantis.
Very forgiving
And then,
nature. Yep,
yep.
and there goes the light.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a confirmation.
yeah.
Yeah. I can see that, especially with someone
Yeah,
that you love, then you do. They're like, I'm sorry. You're like, all right.
sage the home.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's good to do.
yeah.
And sage like your whole chakras too,
Yeah,
I do that. And I also, when I'm saging, then I also am saying thank you, ancestors, for all my gifts that I've been given and that I'll receive. And I ask my ancestors to clear all my chakras and keeping them in balance. And so I do that too. So that's a good way to kind of build a relationship with them.
tone up your body. Yeah.
That's all of us, huh?
Yeah.
So we feel better.
Mhm.
Mount Shasta
Mount
Base,
Shasta base. Okay.
Nikola Tesla,
Oh, nice.
natural psychologist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Among, like, my friends, I kinda am, like, the
Mm-hmm.
psychologist.
Yeah. Yep. Hybrid children.
Okay.
So they would have taken your DNA, of course, in the programs and
Yeah.
created hybrid children with
Mhm.
your abilities.
Green aventurine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Some quartz.
yeah. I do have some of that.
Yeah.
Relax alone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I definitely love to do that.
Yeah.
Well, especially with, like, how intense, like, all the energy's coming in lately, it's like, sometimes you have to. It's like because like, lately, like, there's days, like, where I'll be on edge and I'm like, "Okay, is that coming from me
I
or
know.
the collective?" So it's like I
Mm-hmm.
have to, like, isolate and, you
Mm-hmm.
know
Yeah.
but
I do
whether it's
too.
coming from me or the collective, I just end up transmuting it either way. So,
Yeah. That's good.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
good to keep thinking that.
But yeah.
Like I transmute all negative energy or energy that's not my own. Because you can go anywhere too. You can go to the store and then come back and you feel it, like what is this? I feel so like tensed up now, So
Yeah.
that is
That's
your
yeah.
transmuter.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like a lot of it could be from, like, still going through my kundalini too, so you add that in, like, with all these solar flares and everything else going on, it's just a lot of intense energy coming in, so
Yeah. And then it's waking up, like it's pushing out the
yeah.
chakras, energy out
Yeah.
of the chakras,
Yeah.
opening up more memories of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is because it that the solar flares do activate the Kundalini.
Mhm.
So I mean, you might, if you have any sage or anything like that, then you might just even use your hand. You could just rub your hand, and then just go through all your chakras and ask um your higher self or whoever you want to talk to
Mhm.
clear each chakra out,
Yeah.
and then connect with your higher self. Or even putting your hands on your head and
Yeah.
then just asking for
Yeah.
the healing to happen for
Yeah.
all clear channels.
Yeah.
Just different things whenever you think of it too,
Yeah.
because I can't do a routine so much, because then I get kind
Yeah.
of bored with it, so
Yeah, same here.
yeah.
I'm pretty spontaneous. I don't
Hmm.
really like making plans
Yeah.
for stuff. Well,
Yeah,
because then usually when you do, they usually fall through
I know, because
anyway.
then you're just like, I don't really feel
So
like going now.
yeah, I'm trying to get better of just like going with the flow and
Hmm.
just you know,
What's your
yeah,
moon
and not
sign?
not
Do you
trying to
know what?
be Taurus,
Oh, okay.
and then my rising is Leo.
Oh,
So
okay. That's
so
good.
that's where a lot of like the protectiveness comes in, or at least adds to it. I
Mm-hmm.
think. Well,
Yep.
and since we were talking about Mars earlier, my Mars is in Aries.
Oh, okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
My Mars is
but
in Leo, so I can
okay,
understand that. And my rising is in Sagittarius. So it's
okay,
the
nice.
kind of
Yeah,
this fire, the fire. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
understand the
But
protectiveness.
I have a lot of Earth in my chart. So,
Oh, good. That's good.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, like my Venus is also in Taurus, and
Mm.
so like my midheaven is in Taurus. Uh,
Oh,
and then like all my outer planets except for Pluto are in Capricorn,
oh,
and then my Pluto's in Scorpio.
okay.
My Lilith is in Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and,
Mm-hmm.
like, me learning a little bit about that, that makes a lot of sense with, like, the trauma from a
Yeah.
young age, because like,
Mm-hmm.
mine actually was, like, related to, like, sex stuff. Because
Yep.
I just remember, like, one day and I've heard, like, other people in the programs, like, kinda have similar stuff, like, they just woke up one day, like, they're around, like, 10 years old or whatever, and, like, they're fully attracted to like the opposite
Mm-hmm.
sex or whatever, and like they
Mm-hmm.
have no idea where it came from. That's what happened to me. Like I was like having like all these like crazy thoughts at 5 years old, and I'm like, okay. And of course, at 5 years old, I just thought it was normal
Yeah.
because you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
everyone must experience this. So, like I never told anyone,
Mm-hmm.
like not
That,
until like
yeah.
in like recent years. But like even if I had, like I wouldn't have had the vocabulary to
Mm-hmm.
really describe it
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
The hypersexualized, huh? It's
Yeah,
hypersexualized. Yeah.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
feel
Well, and
like,
then, like, with Hollywood and all that, all the subliminal messaging, and, like,
mm-hmm.
their movies and music and all that, so
Mm-hmm.
it's, like, just a highly sexualized society, and
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that definitely got a hold of me at a young age. So,
Yeah.
but
Me
then like
too.
with the cards that you've pulled, like stuff that I've experienced in the programs, like sex slave and trauma, like that
Mm-hmm.
seems to be running parallel to what I'm experiencing in this current
Yeah.
reality.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
like mirroring basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would make sense then, because of the be if because you've had many 20 and backs, so that's part
yeah,
of it, being locked up, being a sex slave, because it shows a female in there, but it could be the a male as well, so
yeah,
being put through that too. So
mhm,
because there's lots of men in those brothel places too, that are the sex slaves. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Or in any of the mothers of darkness too, because that's going to be
yeah,
that as well.
yeah.
The 444.
That's one of my numbers. I
Yeah.
see that like every day.
Mm-hmm. I felt that. There's some, seems like the tall gray again.
Yeah.
This 999.
Okay.
There's a bunch of information.
Oh wow.
Oh, the Mother Mary energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Compassion. It seems different.
Yeah.
Seems, mm,
Mm,
I don't know where he's from, but seems different, like a friend, you know?
yeah.
Alien implant.
Okay. For monitoring health and wellness. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's good. Probably from your other
Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah, probably star family as well,
Yeah.
maybe. 777. Okay. I have the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Can see that you're like the storm, like the tornado.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's right after it.
Yeah.
I think that's your energy. Like you can spin out the energy like that, like an airbender.
Yeah.
Praying mantis.
Yeah.
It feels like a gray, another type of gray.
Yeah.
Altars. Altars created.
Yep.
So all of those are
More
altars.
confirmation right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
All the altars. Each one of those is an altar. Like
Oh,
there's
wow.
the main frame, your main
Yeah.
altar, your main person, and then each one of these would be a split and then programmed with different things. To access
Wow.
that altar, you got to know the code to get into that one. So each one of them
Jeez.
has like a firewall to get through. So that's why they say
Mhm.
about, with getting access in your altars, then like with the Kundalini stuff, that's good that you're doing it slowly because it'll break
Yeah.
through some of those. I think so. I think it'll
Right.
it'll integrate some of them.
No, yeah, for
Like
sure.
naturally, it'll
Yeah.
integrate some of them. But if you did it too fast, then it might put you into psychosis too. So
Yeah.
because I know many people who go into psychosis from waking up. So these
Yeah.
three popped out. I'll keep those up there for a second. I know I've had the throat chakra thing too. So it
Yeah.
must be like speaking our truth.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of starseed struggle with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially like Pleiadian starseeds, which I feel
Yeah.
like is one of my strongest connections.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the beginning of my journey, so like shortly after, like just like a couple weeks after being guided to my twin, I got a starseed reading, and so it said that my soul origin is Lyran,
Uh-huh.
but but five of my strongest connections are Polarian, Cassiopean, Orion, Andromedan, and Pleiadian.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I definitely resonate with the Pleiadian energy.
Pleiadian. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like the Pleiadian is a lot of angelics too, with
yeah,
that.
mm,
But the Pleiadian too is like a lot of healers are
yeah,
Pleiadian.
yeah,
So your healing abilities.
yeah,
And but the Lyran is gonna be like protectors. They're
yeah,
really strong too.
yeah. Well, and like I've always liked lions and like tigers and other like big felines, and like so I feel like like with my Lyrian heritage, that's probably definitely some like Irma feline, like lion or tiger being like
Yeah.
parallel lives or something.
Yep. As your
Uh,
soul origin, like you're part of your soul
yeah,
origin.
yeah, yeah,
Probably like the royalty.
yeah,
Plus you have Leo as your rising sign.
yeah. And that's also my south node. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I have my north node is Scorpio, and then my south
Oh,
node is Taurus.
okay.
But I only have Taurus and Jupiter. That's my only Earth in my whole chart.
Oh yeah.
And the rest is fire and water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have
Nice.
Venus, I have Cancer, Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Venus, and then Mars and Leo, and Saturn is Leo, and
Okay.
um and Jupiter, Taurus,
Okay.
and what's the other ones? I have another one in Scorpio. The Uranus is in Scorpio, but
Okay.
my Lilith is in
Yeah.
Aries.
Oh,
Lilith is in
yeah.
Aries. Yeah.
Yeah. My Jupiter's in Cancer.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. These three came out. They fell on the floor, so I'll show you these first.
Okay.
They popped out, so
Okay.
those. She's like a seems like a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, program
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 asset.
assets.
Okay.
Seems like that's like one of the altars or something here
Yeah.
too, because
Mm,
they're coded differently too. Like if you're gonna
right.
program an altar, then you're gonna really make it so people can't get access to it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is a base. That's a underground base.
Yeah.
It feels like a salamander. I always get that when I get
Yeah.
this card, like a salamander.
Mm,
Human
human
hybrid.
hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems kind of Arcturian, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's Arcturian.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
that one felt kind of powerful there.
Yeah.
Now here's the felines.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an owl that I thought of.
Oh yeah.
They kind of observe you
Yeah.
like protectors.
Hmm.
A Project Monarch
Okay. Yeah.
when
That
you're.
was one of the programs I felt like that
Mm-hmm.
I was part of. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I had to guess.
Yep, definitely. That one's
Oh, there
flashing.
goes the. Yeah.
It's watching like in the
Yeah.
nighttime, like looking down at you, in the bed,
Yeah.
like that. Still flashing.
Yeah.
I just make them different colors so in case anybody sees something different, they don't think they're all one color.
Right.
There's some more altars. And
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Wow.
And it feels like those are like keys to unlock some of them. Access
Hmm.
codes to unlock some of them.
Right.
Oh, be fearless.
Yeah. That's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No fear.
Right.
It's all an illusion.
This also seems to be some kind of programming for the
Yeah.
mind, like
Yeah.
fire and air,
Uh,
the elements.
Yeah.
Seems like Star Family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a like the dog man, the wolf, the werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that that werewolf aspect has a really sharp focus too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at the Raven Rock and it's blinking.
Oh,
So
no.
that's you might look into that. That's over in Virginia. I believe it's in
Okay.
Virginia, and it's
Interesting.
yeah, and it's I've seen where we they take and they have um like super soldiers, but also regular kids in that base, and they do classrooms
Yeah.
where the
Mm.
Greys and the reptilian and then also praying mantis are the teachers in those classes to the military people, but also the children too. There's children in there being taught
Yeah.
by them, and then we live there. It's like a college dorm too on one
Right.
side. And then I think that there's other aspects like a big living area too, but in this area it's like a tower kind of place is what where I remote viewed it and I went down to the bottom and came upward and was looking at all the levels because on the bottom there was humans in cages and a reptilian was guarding that area because I think they still feed off of those humans
Yeah.
down there as food. And
Right.
then above, and then there's more. There's the classrooms, and then the dorm rooms. So
Yeah.
that's the area that I
And
saw.
you said that's in Virginia, right?
Yeah, Raven Rock,
Yeah, and
Raven
that's
Rock.
interesting because I don't know where in Virginia, but I know my twin lives in Virginia, so I find
Oh,
that interesting too.
oh
So
wow. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you might have some of that trauma twin stuff too might have been
Yeah,
a simulation down there in that area too with the reptilians because there's reptilians in that. And
yeah,
it's but it might be where you're going in there but because it also it takes you off planet too. There's
yeah,
a jump room there too. So um, and there's the maglev trains that go from
mm,
different bases too down there.
yeah.
So I got the
Sleep.
sleeper.
Okay.
So I think this is that Jason Bourne altar where he would wake up and be that. I think so.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah,
I think even in this reality, if you were given the code, they could act, but it's in another where you're taken, as you,
yeah,
but you're taken, and then they enhance all your abilities, and they can access that altar. So,
yeah.
mhm.
Hmm. Okay.
It's safe in this reality. They have to have the code to do access that.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
and it's like the assassin. It's just like Jason Bourne, just like
yeah.
that, where you're combat and you're just like that. Oh, look, this
Oh,
is the
that's curious.
Syrian dog.
Yeah,
Yeah. The it feels like it's a light blue color, like the electricity,
yeah.
like that,
Hmm.
like that. She seems kind of Pleiadian a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit,
Maybe like a mother.
maybe.
This says,
Clones
clone.
genetically infused with ET DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the clones of you.
Yeah.
So I think even some are cyborgs. They'd have half
Oh.
cyborg, half human genetics.
Hmm.
So then
Yeah.
that's probably some of the Mars super soldier aspects too, you know,
Yeah.
on there. Now I got the little charm things here.
Okay.
I was even thinking too, because I have the self-doubt thing too with, like struggling with that as well. And sometimes I'll
Yeah.
think, like, why? what is all these cards? I think it's some kind of programming in my mind of not helping people wake up. Like, what are these cards going to do for people? They won't, like, who wants to see these cards? You know, who wants, like, I think that is part of the programming. So then I don't help people with this stuff, you know,
Yeah.
because spending time with the person is really the thing, you know, with
Yeah.
talking and talking about the programs and stuff.
Yeah.
And from what we uncover talking and everything too,
Yeah.
it helps bring up more information.
Yeah.
So I know I have that, but I think it's part of our programming. I really
Yeah,
do.
for
Hmm.
sure.
I'm gonna put this back on low so you can see that because there's always like a glare.
Okay.
So these feel like they're like um little chips that you can put into your field, you know, like access the information, something like
Yeah.
that. Like it feels like that. Is that clear?
Yeah.
There. It's like chips. It's like
Yeah.
feels like circuits. Oh, these are like little praying mantis,
Yeah.
like looking through the glass um of the ship.
Hmm.
That's a triangle headed being.
Hmm.
I think they're higher dimensional
Yeah.
praying
You made
mantis.
this again.
Mm-hmm. Like geneticist. This says Octurian DNA.
Okay.
DNA infusion.
Infusion. Hmm.
You've had DNA infusions. That's a Reiki symbol.
Yeah.
Seheki.
Yeah.
Seheki. Super soldier program.
Hmm.
The more circuits. Just feels like these go into the your auric field.
Yeah.
Just chips or something, you know, like if you wanted to pull the energy from them.
Hmm.
Let me get it. Seems like it's a star system
Yeah.
or something
Hmm.
like it on the uniform.
Yeah.
And that's one there is like a it's just like a lightning bolt, you know,
Yeah.
like that. Like that. So that's the reading. I don't know what you how you feel now. If you feel kind of some any kind of heat, anything like that.
Mm.
Like
No, not really. I
yeah,
mean,
maybe
it's like
maybe
that was definitely like a lot, but
uh a lot of information
but like
for
some of
you.
the cards that came through, I wasn't really like too surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that twin flame card and the true
Yeah,
love
that's
and
good. That
all
gave
that,
you
and some of the
confirmation,
other
huh?
stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And the super soldier stuff, all that, the 20 and back. So you know that
yeah. I mean, I
explains a
had no
lot.
idea it was that many times, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like I had a feeling like it was at least a 20 or 40, but
Yeah.
but I wasn't like really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can be mind fractured and then those altars also. So that's why it's hard to piece all these things together because that one clone can have the mind split and then you have all these altars created. And then so all those altars are kind of having their own experience of stuff too, you know, and then they're put back into the clone, like returned if one's assassin or something. And then so you might have a flash of doing that, but you don't know where that came from, so
Yeah.
like what where did that come from? So it's really
Yeah.
difficult to piece all of that. That's why they create altars. So then you don't question, or you're not able to piece together everything that's occurred, that's happened to you. So yeah, it's just you um recognizing or waking up to it and just resonating probably is going to be what you feel. That's And then you can expand on it by asking other channelers, hey, I've seen this in a dream, and then you can kind of go off of that.
Mm,
That will your dreams and stuff with her. That's something to look into if
yeah.
you wanted. um I mean, you pretty much saw everything there, but if you had more questions of like, where was I? Where did this occur? Was this like in the super soldier program? Because you saw super soldier, so it is in the super soldier program. But like, is this
Yeah.
underground, under base? Because it might have been, and it might have been under base in the Raven Rock, or you don't ever really
Yeah.
know, because it's not like we can see or know where we're at, so
Right. Yeah.
so that's why it's also kind of um hard to put everything together. But just go
Yeah.
off with what you remember and what you see and
Mhm.
dream and all that, and then that's what you go off of.
Yeah.
And anything else
Sure.
that comes up too, as your kundalini and your crown opens up too, I'm sure you'll have a lot more stuff open up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm I'm wondering what all after that opens up, what you'll start. I bet it'd be like your healing abilities more, because it's going to be like a channeling
Yeah.
from your higher self.
Yeah. And psychic abilities and all that
Mm-hmm.
too, because I
Yeah,
have none of that activated right now. Like that's why
yeah.
I've been curious, like what abilities I have, since
Mm-hmm.
none of them are currently activated,
Mm-hmm.
but all in due
Yeah,
time. So
yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would just keep working on like clearing your chakras and stuff like that. And then even
yeah.
the crown and stuff, and just and then that way it'll just open up when it's supposed to,
Mm,
but it'll be all clear. And it'll be, you can ask for stuff too. You can ask to be, for all your abilities to come to you, activate my abilities, or I ask for all my abilities to activate, or whatever you want to do,
yeah.
your psychic, or um, um, be more intuitive, my intuition, my psychic abilities, my healing abilities to
Yeah.
activate, or to be more
Mhm.
clear, or to come into my crown, whatever you want, like
Yeah.
program it like it's like you're the programmer, and then it
Yeah.
will eventually happen.
Mm. Right.
Hmm. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I'll send you this. If you'll send me your email on the messenger, so then I'll
Yep.
send you this on the Google Drive. So you'll have the copy of it. And then I'm going to post it to the YouTube. So we'll have that there
Okay.
too. So thank you,
Okay.
Lee, for asking me to
Yeah.
do this for you. And it
Yeah.
was nice to meet you and visit with you too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Now stop the recording here.